Welcome to our channel. Okay guys, this is the Achilles heel for a lot of installers because it has a little of complexity. And the complexity comes at the time they put it together. So we have our Phillips here. That's for the lid out. Now this one is interesting because it has some clips underneath here. Just like that. Take it off. And needs only one right here in the bottom. You save these yellow clips so we can put it back into the piece right here. And all we wanted was to remove that screw over there. This is a Canadian square. And we want to do that so we can remove these sections right here. And it's only clips, but they're sturdy. They kind of not easy to remove. So we want to pry them from the bottom. And in some sections, we want to squish the clip so it can be released just like this. Same for the other side. Now I have two. Not all of them are going to cooperate, so we want to have to force them. There you have it. And then we have two Phillips because we need to remove all these brackets to access the upholstery. This is slightly complex. So these are Phillips number 2. There are 4 of them. Yeah, so we can release this bracket. And you push it up so it can go out. Now, we can get away by cutting right here, this one for now, so we don't get lost in the track of these screws. So we're gonna cut over here. I'm gonna cut over here. Yeah, so we can get our covers off. Just like that. Now, it's gonna be a cable here that runs in this section to power this USB port right here. So the next step is gonna be to remove this in the 45. Let's see. These are forks. 45. Actually, it's not this one. The ones we want to take off are underneath the cover. This one stays. Now we can remove this, but you have to be careful here, guys. You see this plastic, this rod right here runs into this slit. And when it does that, this has to be positioning in the bracket just like this. That's the way that it works. So, but I already know that. I just explained to you guys, it has the tabs, it goes into the frame. What we have to be careful is how we're gonna open this molding to release our cable. So we can get this one off and the cable for the top part. So we wanna go underneath and remove the clips so we can have the cable free. One right there, and one right here. And the whole cable is gonna go to the other side. And we need to move these clips right here because the plug cannot go through. One right there, and there you have it. It's the same process when we put it back in place. We just want the covers off. It's gonna get tricky once we get, actually, it happens, and this one is one single piece, and the one we got is for this section to have a lid. So basically, we don't have the right cover for this. We have it for the top. So this is gonna have to be pending installation so we can get the right cover. So this is not the one. But guys, when you put all this back together, it's more or less the same process. So nothing we can do with the cushion. It's tricky when it has this lid in the bottom. This one doesn't have it. But let's move forward to the other section. Now this one has clips. So we just want to pry this off. And the cover basically has a little plastic reinforcement that enters into this slit. And that's what is holding it together. And if you don't want to deal with it, we just gonna cut it. Because sometimes it doesn't release that easily. So see, now it's out. And there you have it. That's your cover. Pay attention to the hole right here because the cable goes through it. Otherwise, you're gonna have problems if you don't do this first. So that's your cover. And this one go here, this goes on top over here, like this. Watch just loose one. We put it back in place. So we want to prepare the covers so you can see how they're gonna be put back together. Unfortunately, we don't have the bottom part, so you don't wanna see the whole sequence. We wanna reserve that so when we have all the components, you can see how they're gonna be put together. Okay, guys, now we have our cover. We're gonna put it underneath in place. We're gonna round our wire to the hole right here. This is very simple. All we have to do is center the two stitches on the line and tuck it in with a spatula. Just like this. Let me show you. Fold it over. Make sure it's center. The same process is gonna be all around, but this flap, because this flap is for the bolts. Now, what we have experienced in the past when we make these pieces, not always the center lines up in the center. For example, this is our center, and we need to force it slightly to the center. And we have these other two marks right here. It marks the stitches. It has two little marks. So that's so you know you are in the right place. So let's trim this in place. And in this particular case, guys, it's slightly over both sides, about 3/8. But it's okay, we can live with that. If you notice, we have a gap right here, so that's so we don't have a bulk section right here. Not that bulk. And we have this other one over here. And again, guys, it's not that difficult. We are demystifying the installation process. You can see that it's not that complicated when you know what to do. And this is our last section. There you have it. We're gonna need to remove this again to put the bolts underneath once we have the console. But I just wanted to show you guys how simple it was, this process. So we have our clearance for our bolt here and the other two bolts right. So when it's done, it's gonna look something like this. Obviously the frame is gonna go there. And I think at this point we can reload the cover. Because we're gonna have to just open this section to close the bolts and seal it back on. Put the lid back again, unless you want to trim the top, which is normally not required. And since we don't have the bottom section, because we need to reorder that part, it was ordered wrongly. This is as far as I'm gonna take it in this chapter. In the next chapters, I will show you the completion of the console, and we're gonna move forward with the seats. Okay, if you have a question, please put it in the comments. I wanna help you guys. Okay, guys, we're gonna be putting together our console. We have our bottom cover right now here. We're gonna trim this last section right here. We have 3 hack rings in the back. Let's see. And we're gonna trim our U clip. We're gonna interrupt this video. Okay, we continue after the interruption on the call. So now we're gonna load the top part. I remember the plastic goes there. This one. That goes with the molding. So let's get this one first. This section. Now for this other side, it's this piece. And remember that it has the channel where the cable goes through. This one. So let's load the plastic. That's the plastic. That's the pin already in the plastic. So we're gonna put now our cable in here, and we wanna go across. Let's see here. There you have it, guys. We have our cable coming down here. And this is gonna have a trim over here, but we need this one right here. That's our first bolt. We have two more in this side. Let's see. There. Now we trim this one back on. Now guys, remember that we pull the wire from this side all the way to the other side. So these are the tabs here. It goes here. Then this goes over here. Fly off. That will hold our vent. Now we have our wire in position. All we have to do is remove this, put them back in place, and reassemble the moldings. So we have our fillet number 2. And once I align the first hole, the other one should be hollow. It's like so. Same here. Okay, now we want to proceed to assemble the frame. There. Keep in mind, guys, that I dismantled this a couple of days ago because we were waiting for the part. That's it. Now, once we have this one in place, we're gonna put the vent. This vent has the foam that enters into that section right there. And it's just clips. So it should just go in. Like that. And the only support is this one right here. That's it. And for last, we have the cover. So that completes the assembly. And the last section is to put the lid, which is this one right here. It's only 4 bolts, guys, so it's not, I mean, screws is not that technical or complex. So I'm just gonna show you when it's done. And this is the rear view. This is how it works. See the front view with the wire in this side. And that's your console in the 2019 Dodge Ram. This is the 2500. Same goes for the 1500s and the 3500s. Like and subscribe, guys. And last thing to do is put everything back in place so we can show you the results. Go to emupholsterytechnology.com, leathertech.com, get your leather kits right there. And if you have questions, put it in the comments.